I'm a mental health therapist, and today I want to share my story with you guys. Most therapists shy away from sharing too much of themselves, not because we don't feel, not because we don't hurt, but because of how we were trained. We were taught boundaries, we were taught professionalism, we were taught to sit in the chair, hold the space, and somehow become less human in the process. But I've always been different from others. So here I am, a gay male, therapist, autistic, ADHD, dyslexic. No, not a therapist, just a human. Someone who bleeds the same as you all. And I mean that in every sense. Because here's the thing, I'm also a recovering self-harmer. For a long time, my pain had nowhere to go. It sat inside me like pressure, like something screaming under my skin. And when I could not find the words, I found another way to speak. I hurt myself. I would cut my arms and my legs in places I thought the world would never see, places I could hide, places I could cover up and pretend everything was fine. Because that's it. That's what pain teaches you sometimes. Hide it, smile through it, make yourself smaller. Do not make people uncomfortable. But behind closed doors, I was falling apart. Self-harm was never about wanting attention. It was about wanting release. It was about trying to survive feelings that felt too big for my body. It was about control when everything else felt completely out of control. Then came grief. The kind of grief that changes the shape of your world. I lost my mum. Not my mother, my mum. There is something different about the word mother. When you are talking about the person who was your home, she was my mum. And when she died, everything around me became strange. There's an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer called The Body. And if you know that episode, you know. It captures something people do not always talk about. That awful moment when the person you love is no longer spoken about like they are yours. Suddenly, she was not mum to the professionals. She was the body. And I understand why. I understand the language. I understand the system. I understand that professionals have a job to do. But my heart did not understand. Because to me, she was not a body. She was my mum. And losing her took me somewhere dark. Not poetic dark, not dramatic dark, real dark. The kind of dark where your chest feels heavy before your eyes even open. The kind of dark where the house is quiet but your mind is screaming. The kind of dark where you walk around doing things normally because part of you is still trying to perform being alive. I remember walking around the house, tidying things away, putting things in order, preparing, because I was ready to end my life. And I say that plainly because these things need to be spoken about plainly. I was not weak. I was not selfish. I was not attention seeking. I was in pain, a level of pain that made life feel impossible to carry. And still somehow I am here. Then when I was in college studying to become a therapist, something happened that broke something else inside me. I was raped. And the people who should have protected me did not. Because I was a man. Because apparently men are supposed to just deal with it. Man up, move on, stay quiet. Pretend it did not happen. But it did happen. And it changed me. It affected how I saw my body, how I trusted people, how safe I felt in rooms, how I heard laughter, how I responded to touch, how I carried shame that was never mine to carry. Being raped as a man, comes with a silence that is hard to explain. People do not always know what to do with your pain. They minimize it, they question it, they make you feel like your trauma does not fit the story they have been taught. But trauma does not care about gender. Pain does not care about gender. And survival does not look the same for everyone. So yes, I became a therapist. But before that, I was a person trying to survive myself. A person trying to understand why my brain worked differently, why I felt everything so deeply, why I never quite fitted into the boxes people wanted to put me in. Gay, autistic, ADHD, dyslexic, a survivor, a recovering self-harmer, a grieving son, a man who was hurt and not protected, and still human. Still here, still breathing. This chat has been edgy, it's been raw, it's been real because I do not want to sit here and pretend healing is pretty. Healing is messy, it's ugly, it's crying on the bathroom floor. Healing is relapsing and choosing to try again. Healing is saying the thing out loud that you thought would destroy you. Healing is learning that your story does not make you broken. It makes you human. And I want others to know my story because someone listening might be where I was, hiding their scars, carrying grief, living with shame, feeling like nobody would understand, feeling like they are too much, too damaged, too far gone. You are not. It is okay not to be okay, but you do not have to stay there alone. I'm not sharing this because I have all the answers. I am sharing this because I know what it feels like to survive the questions. And maybe today, that's enough. Maybe today, staying alive is enough. Maybe today, telling the truth is enough. And maybe today, you hear this from me, not as a therapist, but as a human being. Your pain matters. Your story matters. You matter. And I am so glad you are still here. Look after yourselves.